Well, now that we've gone through lesson one, let's look at basic photo corrections. There are 9 steps for retouching. They don't have to be done in this particular order, but the first step you should always do is duplicate your original image. You always work on a copy because you don't want to ruin your original and not be able to go back there. You want to check your resolution to see that you have enough pixels to work with. A low resolution is very difficult to work with. You also want to check your color mode, whether it's RGB or CMYK. RGB would be for the web and CMYK is for print. And you want to repair any flaws. Now, another step you want to do is to adjust contrast and tonal range. And you want to remove any color casts. You adjust the color and tone of specific parts of an image. And we're going to learn how to do this in this class, and you sharpen the image if it needs it. And then you crop to the final size. Sometimes I crop in the beginning so that I don't waste a lot of time doing retouching on areas that don't need it. Okay, so let's look at resolution. Resolution is made of pixels. They're little squares, and pixel stands for picture element. Resolution is the number of pixels per inch. So the image resolution is measured in pixels per inch, PPI. The monitor resolution is measured in dots per inch, DPI. The printer or output resolution is registered in dots per inch also, but ink dots. And if you're doing printing, offset printing, it's lines per inch, or LPI. So you should usually scan a resolution at 1.5 to 2 times the screen frequency for offset printing. Now, Photoshop lets you change the image's resolution, and this is good. You use 300 pixels per inch, which is high resolution, and that would be for print images, and 72 pixels per inch for the web or monitor only. Now when you scan either at these. You cannot go from 72 to 300, but you can go from 300 to 72. Okay, let's look at color modes. Color on a monitor is very different from print, and we're not going to go into it here. It has to do with the way color is viewed with our eyes. So there are 2 color modes. There's CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. K is for black because down here for RGB we have a blue, so that's already, the B is already taken. So CMYK is for print and RGB is for the web. You can change color modes, and you may have to do that. You go to Image, Mode, and then choose either CMYK or RGB, depending on what you're doing with your project. Now, let's look at the selection tools. We looked a little bit at them on the first lesson. You have your marquee tools, which include these. You have your lasso tool here. You have your magic wand tool here, which does color and stuff like that. And your quick selection tool, which is a new tool. You have your color correction tools. And to get to those, you go to Image and Adjustments. And we're going to explore some of these, and you can see this is how it looks when you go to Image and Adjustments. And here they are: levels, color balance, brightness, contrast, curves. Hue and saturation, desaturation, invert, and variations. I like variations for beginners. Then you do the tonal range, which is the contrast or detail in an image and is determined by the distribution of pixels ranging from the blackest pixels to the whitest. And you use these little eyedroppers here to sample the black, the white, and a medium gray. Levels and curves are used for this purpose. I like to use levels myself. Now the tonal range um, adjusts image levels for shadows, midtones, and highlights. The toning tools are the dodge tool, and these are traditional darkroom tools that photographers used years and years ago. The dodge tool lightens an area, the burn tool darkens an area, and you choose a brush and set the brush options to get what you want there. And you select what to change, either the midtones, the shadows, or the highlights. Now the sponge tool changes the color saturation of an area in an image. It intensifies the colors. You can also desaturate with this tool by changing the option up in the option bar, and that dilutes the color. You can also control the flow of it, being 10% being the weakest and 90% the strongest. Now color replacement. To do that, you go to Image Adjustments and Replace Color. Now the unsharp mask is a filter that is used to sharpen the edges in an image. So it sounds like it's strange to call it an unsharp mask. It works by locating pixels that differ from surrounding pixels based on a threshold you specify and increases the pixel's contrast by the amount you specify. To use the filter, you go to Filter, Sharpen, Unsharp Mask. Let's look at cropping. It's the process of removing portions of an image. You use this tool here to crop. You draw a marquee around the image, and the image can be resampled by entering the width, height, and or the resolution. When you press enter or the little check up in the option bar, you are finished. You can also rotate the crop. Okay, let's look at retouching and repairing. Here are the tools for the job. It's the spot healing tool, the healing tool, the patch tool, the red eye tool, the clone stamp, the pattern stamp, the eraser tool, background eraser, magic eraser, blur tool, sharpen tool, and smudge tool. I like the smudge tool. Now, some more tools for the job are the brush tool, pencil tool, color replacement tool, the history brush tool, which I really haven't had too much luck working with that, the art history brush, the gradient tool, the paint bucket tool, the dodge tool, the burn tool, and the sponge tool. Now, cloning and pattern tools uses pixels from one area of an image to replace the pixels in another. And you can copy from different images or layers. Here's what they look like. And you adjust the result by choosing brush size, mode, opacity, flow, airbrush, and you can align or not align. Also, the pattern stamp tool is used for custom patterns. Say you want to put wallpaper in a place or grass in a place. You can do this. You begin by defining the area with the rectangle marquee tool up here, and then you use the filter marquee to create new patterns. The pattern tool continued is to you click on the pattern and then choose the thumbnail of the pattern you'd like. Now you also have the healing and patch tools, and we will use those today. They offer a touch-up precision that are beyond the capabilities of the clone stamp and the pattern stamp tools. The stamp tools copy the area's color to a target area. However, the healing and patch tools sample the source's area texture and apply that texture to the target area, matching surrounding color and brightness. It is really a beautiful tool, both of those, and they're great for precision work. The Spot Healing Brush tool allows you to do one-click fixes, and it's really great for blemishes and scratches. And you just select the tool, adjust your brush size, and click on the blemish. Here it is up here, little band-aid. Okay, so the healing brush tool is here, and it's a band-aid. It doesn't have the little broken oval behind it, and it's applied in a freehand manner. And you need to alt-click just like you would for the clone stamp tool, and then drag the brush over the area you'd like to repair. When the mouse is released, the source texture is applied to the target area, and it's blending it with the surrounding pixels. The patch tool. The changes are based on defining a pre-selected area. It combines the selection abilities of the lasso tool with the color blending abilities of the healing brush tool. And you begin by selecting an area on your image that needs repair and then drag the patch tool marquee to another part of the image and release. This is a fun tool to use. The color replacement tool allows you to replace specific colors in an image, and you can paint over a targeted area, for example, a red eyes of a person, but we already have a tool for that. It doesn't work with bitmap, indexed color, or multi-channeled color modes. So let's get to work. Bye.